Okay, come in a little bit to the center. There you go. And slide in a little bit. Okay.
Oh, okay.
You should be ready to go. Okay, Mayor. We're ready.
All right, is everyone ready? Yeah. All the mics work? I know we've got a bunch up here. All right, without further ado, I'd like to introduce the 60th Mayor of Dallas, Eric Johnson.
All right. Good morning. It's good to see everybody here. Can I touch this thing? I don't want to mess it up, but I want to make sure you can make sure you can hear me. Can you hear me okay? All right. Well, it's clear that homelessness is one of our city's most pressing issues. This is an issue that I talked about in my State of the City address last year, in my inaugural address last week, and throughout the past 2 years I've served as mayor. Too many people, particularly African Americans, are experiencing homelessness in our city and in our region. Our last point in time count showed once again that the number of unsheltered residents living on our streets increased in the past year. We aren't unique in that regard. Cities and counties across Texas and across this country have seen increases in their homeless populations and in encampments. To varying degrees, we've all struggled to find answers. Because this is a complex problem. It's an economic problem, it's a health problem, and it's a human problem. And the city of Dallas cannot solve this problem alone. I've talked a lot in recent weeks about our need to get back to basics and focus on the things that our city government is uniquely qualified and positioned to do for its residents. Things like answering 911 calls, issuing building permits quickly, and picking up bulk trash on schedule. But when it comes to homelessness, we, the city, can only be a part of a broader solution. It will take all the people that we've gathered here today, and it's going to take all of us to address this critical issue. And it's clear that we need comprehensive solutions and a concerted effort to stabilize and house people who are experiencing homelessness in Dallas. That's why we're here today, to announce the creation of the Dallas Real-Time Rapid Rehousing Strategy. Through this program, we plan to leverage federal dollars through the American Rescue Plan Act to rapidly rehouse people who are experiencing homelessness. This plan also calls for using privately raised funds for necessary related expenses that government is not allowed to pay for. Our partners here today will give you more of the details about this strategy, but if I can sum up the philosophy behind it, it's this. We have to provide all people in our city with viable pathways to better lives. For those who are experiencing homelessness, that means we have to address their most basic needs first. I'm very proud to say that we've already received commitments from Dallas County, the City of Mesquite, the City of Grand Prairie, the Dallas Housing Authority, and our homelessness services providers, such as the Metro Dallas Homeless Alliance. And together, we have an incredible opportunity to make a significant impact on this critical issue. If this strategy is properly implemented, and that is critical. Implementation is something that this council has been talking about a lot. We talk about plans and intentions that collect dust. We want to make sure this strategy is properly implemented. But if we do that, we'll be able to take thousands of people off of our streets, put them into safe housing, and give them the tools and the resources that they need to be successful. I look forward to working with all of our partners and with our city council to refine our approach and to ensure that this amazing opportunity does not go to waste. by helping our most vulnerable, will strengthen this already great city and this region for years to come. So with that, I just want to say thank you again for being here, everyone, and for being willing to take on this issue. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to my friend, the Dallas County Judge. You all know him very well, Mr. Clay Jenkins. Judge Jenkins.
Thank you, Mayor. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right, so the DRTRR, or what I call rapid housing, because it's just too many words for me to remember, is going to have several components. You know, we've got domestic violence survivors, we got families and individuals with more significant health issues that are going to be permanently housed with 655 vouchers and are going to be offered ongoing supportive health. And then an additional 2,000 people will be housed with wraparound services for a 12-month period. And during that time, case managers are going to assist clients with services. They need to stabilize their lives, address health issues, and find employment. Data similar to our rapid rehousing programs in other cities, including some work that we've done here, has shown that once people get stabilized, they tend to stay out of homelessness. So we're very excited about the potential of this program. And as long as they're getting that professional help, they won't fall back into the situation of homelessness. You know, part of servant leadership is to recognize the holy and the good in every person and to try to spread good and love and compassion to everyone. So I want to have a message to our homeless people, all right? We see you, we care about you, and thanks to $70 million, much of which is coming from the American Rescue Plan Act. Thank you, Joe Biden and the Democrats in Congress, for passing that on a party line vote. And a significant amount that will be coming from our friends in philanthropy. We don't just see you, we got you. Now, I'm thrilled that there are so many stakeholders. There's the cities, several cities, the city of Dallas and Dallas County are in this for $25 million apiece, but there's some other cities that are in it as well. Public agencies, nonprofits, and philanthropic communities uniting to do something bigger than any of us can do alone. You know, they say if you want to go far, go together. If you want to go fast, go alone. We're going to go fast and far together. We're also excited to be offering new tools to equitably and humanely resolve encampments by offering people immediate housing as an alternative to unsheltered homelessness. Unsheltered homelessness threatens the safety of all of our community. And experiencing homelessness lands people in Parkland's emergency room or the county jail. This historic partnership will increase the quality of trauma-informed care from partner agencies, save tax dollars spent triaging people in crisis, and make Dallas County stronger and a better place to live. In any public health crisis, there are certain populations that are impacted more severely, and none greater than the homeless and the imprisoned. Those of us with access to primary care often overlook the struggle of those without access to medical care, including the uninsured and the underinsured. And if we've learned anything from the COVID-19 pandemic, we've learned we must work to protect our most vulnerable residents. This program is imperative for the health of these members of our community and the county as a whole. I want to thank Dr. Philip Wong with Dallas County Health and Human Services and his team for their work on the vouchers. I want to thank the DHA for their incredible work on the vouchers and others, cities who've worked on putting vouchers into this program. I want to thank our county administration, Daryl Martin, who is here with us today, and our county employees who have worked so hard on these issues. I want to thank the city manager and the city departments, particularly the Department of Homeless Solutions here at the City of Dallas, who have worked so hard. And I want to thank Dr. Teresa Daniel and Casey Thomas, who co-chair our homelessness committee that is a joint committee appointed by I and the mayor and I. And they've worked on homelessness, on housing, and on this initiative. And so it's my honor to introduce our next speaker, Dr. Teresa Daniel.
Good morning. I am Teresa Daniel. I'm one of the 5 members of the Dallas County Commissioners Court. I'm proud to be here recognizing that we are stronger and we can accomplish more by working together with like-minded partners. And that means calling upon Dallas County, Dallas City, veterans, the Dallas Housing Authority, the Real Estate Council, the Apartment Association of Greater Dallas, Parkland Hospital, North Dallas Behavioral Health Authority, the MDHA, school districts, local law enforcement, and philanthropic entities. We have laid foundations for the investments that will be made possible by the American Recovery Act plan. The work of the partnership is in process, with ARPA providing a huge boost to what we, the partners, can do in the greater Dallas area using all of our combined resources wisely. And thank you to all for this great opportunity. And now, my co-chair.
There he is.
There he is.
Good morning. It's a great day in Dallas. You know, I was just thinking as I was preparing to come up here about in the height of the riots in South Central Los Angeles, Rodney King uttered the phrase, "Why can't we all just get along?" We're here today in the city of Dallas. We're not just saying we can get along, we can work together and get things done. And so we're excited about this opportunity. The city council and the mayor about a month ago voted and approved a resolution on racial equity, which says that racial equity will be at the center of all of our policies, programs. And so today, as we put this focus on ending homelessness in the city of Dallas, we will make sure that there is a focus on racial equity to make sure those who are most impacted are the ones who have a great opportunity. So we call on our friends in the Apartment Association. We're glad to have our partners here at DHA who are on board. I want to thank everyone who's a part of this collective impact that's going to make a tremendous difference here in the city of Dallas. So thank you, everyone. At this time, I'll bring on my good friend, Jorge Baldor, the chair of DHA.
Thank you. Today we have a unique opportunity formed by the spirit of cooperation and collaboration that is applying the combined resources and experience of the city, the county, federal governments, and also private philanthropists and extensive experience of housing providers such as DHA and private sector landlords, including the Apartment Association of Greater Dallas. DHA, the Housing Solutions for North Texas, also known as the Housing Authority of the City of Dallas, is excited about this collaboration to help address homelessness. DHA has committed $8.6 million that will support 490 emergency vouchers, and this will help to pay the rent, to cover cost of application fees, security deposits, moving expenses, deposits to establish utilities, as well as other support services. DHA currently provides affordable quality housing to cover 19,000 households, representing 46,000 men, women, and children of North Texas, including 3,675 that were formerly homeless. One of the other statistics that I think is important is that almost 50% of those covered by the voucher program are under the age of 18. And I think that's something that we need to consider as we consider programming going forward. Through this important initiative, we look forward to housing more homeless persons, especially homeless families with children. I do want to take a second to thank all of those that are behind the scenes that are not on this podium, that don't get the chance to get the spotlight, but are doing the work every day and are making all these programs possible, and I want to thank them for the opportunity that they're providing for us and for our city and our North Texas region. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Peter Brodsky, and I'm the board chair of the Metro Dallas Homeless Alliance, and don't worry, I'm the last speaker this morning. The Metro Dallas Homeless Alliance is the quarterback agency that helps to organize and set the strategic direction and then help the execution of the members of the continuum of care of the city of Dallas, many of whom are represented here. First of all, I want to recognize Ashley Brundage, who's the board chair of the Homeless Collaborative, the Continuum of Care, for all the work that she's done to get us here. And what I want to focus on today is just two quick things, actually three. The first is, as a participant in all the discussions that went on leading to this day, I want to tell you how inspiring it was to see all of the public servants here and that were participating on the call focused on one goal, which was to provide housing, restore stability and dignity to the lives of over 2,600 residents of Dallas. That was the direction that everyone was pointed towards. That's what everybody kept top of mind, and it made any issues that came up melt away, because that is such a significant goal that everybody was aligned on. So I want to thank everyone for staying that mission aligned. The second thing I want to focus on is the folks over here who are the people who run the agencies that are going to be doing the really heavy lifting of actually housing and helping the people who are experiencing homelessness. It's a lot of hard work to organize the plan. It is much, much harder work to do the day-to-day blocking and tackling, solving people's problems, helping them find the solutions that they need to solve their own problems. And I want to thank everyone in advance for the incredible amount of work it's going to take to get this done. I'd like to give them a round of applause. And the last part I want to speak about is something that the mayor alluded to, which is that this is not just government dollars. There's about $10 million of privately raised funds that are required for this to work. And it's not just because we needed more money. It's because there are key tools that we need in order to find the housing, secure the housing, set people up for success in the housing that government funds are just not allowed to be used for. And that is what the private funding is going to be used for. Things like being able to reserve apartments, providing people with the basics to set them up for success, like a couch and sheets and shampoo. Those are items that are required in order for this to be successful, and we now have $10 million to go raise. So I want to thank in advance the Dallas philanthropic community and the corporate community for your incredible generosity in making this happen. Thank you very much. This is an exciting day for Dallas.
His name?
Peter Brodsky, Metro Dallas Homeless Alliance.
B-R-O-D-S-K-Y.
All right, everyone else got everyone's name, right? We'll go ahead and open it up for questions. I'll just play referee here because we got a lot of people. Anyone? Alan?
Let me for the Metro Dallas Homeless Alliance. Like I was on that Zoom call that you guys had last week, where you talked about the need to that housing prices are going up faster than wages are going up, and so I guess even outside of rapid rehousing, what can be done long term? Like what kind of work can be done long term to try to match people up with stable housing if they can't afford it?
Is anyone streaming this? You are, okay. So the question was about long-term solutions because wages are going up not as fast as the price of housing. Peter?
Yeah, it's a great question. First of all, our financial modeling takes into account the fact of what market rents are, and so I don't think we'll have a problem with this program. But this is an opportunity while this program is going on for us to solve what really is the longer-term problem, which is that we need more affordable housing in the city of Dallas. We need more affordable housing all over the place. It's not just Dallas that struggles with that. And And affordable can mean lots of things. The type of housing I'm talking about that people who are experiencing homelessness need is at the 0 to 30% of area median income, or AMI. We need to come up with policies and procedures that will spark more development of that housing. With all the money that's being contributed, $70 million, while it's an enormous sum, would not be enough to build enough units to solve the problem. That's going to have to be a much longer-term solution, and hopefully we'll use these 2 years while we are housing a lot of people to put a policy in place that works for the next 20 years.
Yes.
I would like to know some statistics and how many homeless are in the county, the city, and if you have by group, how many African Americans, Latin, and white, and other races.
Right, so you want kind of an assessment of the homeless population. Peter?
Yeah.
The pit count,
Right.
and so it's between 4,000 and 5,000.
We can, I guess we can just refer you to the MDHA's point in time count. I believe it's online. I know, yeah.
There's a point in time count link on the MDHA website.
As the mayor and a couple of the other speakers mentioned, it's predominantly African American as well, in the region and in the city.
You mentioned that children are involved as well. How will it impact their lives? How positive can it be to have housing?
How does it impact children's lives?
That's why we include the
Commissioner?
That's one of the reasons why we've included ISDs in the discussion, because it's families, it's people, and it's kids who are impacted by this. So all of us have got to be involved in that discussion. You're absolutely right.
We'll do one more because these folks actually have a meeting to get to.
Are we going to be able to talk to somebody in Spanish at the end?
Sure. Yeah. We'll find you someone.
Just run through the kind of target data points when you're trying to hit how many people, over how much time, how much money.
The targets. Kim, do you want to take that? Or, yeah.
Do you want it?
Well, in Spanish, George, go ahead.
Was that a Spanish language or an English language?
Oh, I was looking for that in English.
That was an English.
Oh, I'm sorry, somebody needs something in Spanish. Go ahead.
So the number is between 2,600 and 2,700. There's 655 vouchers that are being contributed, although that is prior to Grand Prairie joining in. So it'll go up from there. And then it's roughly 2,000 people will be housed through the rapid rehousing. And essentially the way it works is that the vouchers are a permanent subsidy that so once you receive a voucher, that never ends. And so that's why the people who are going to receive the vouchers are domestic violence survivors, families, and people who are the most chronically homeless, who really are probably never going to be self-sustaining because of mental or physical health issues. The 2,000 people in the rapid rehousing program are people who it's felt that with 12 months of rental subsidy and a lot of wraparound services that will be provided, they will be able to self-sustain by the end of that 12 months, and then will not return to homelessness afterwards. So all in, it's about 2,600, maybe 2,700 people.
They've got to go to city council, but if you have a Spanish question, George can answer that.
We can do it on the side.
You want to do it on the side? Okay, great. Thank y'all.
All right. Well, thank you all very much.
I just want to say one thing about the children, the question about the children that we had, that we know that that's the only way to change the trajectories and to make this a cycle that's broken. And so Dallas Housing Authority is working very closely with Dallas Independent School District to provide programs that address these particular needs in a very specific manner. So these are the types of forward-thinking programs that have already been implemented that this will allow to increase when we have further families into these programs. Thank you.